We know what you normally
Go
do.
the other way.
This is good for wrist here?
Yeah, other way.
Well, Justin taught me I can do like single. Single, it's not as, it takes a,
Yeah, but look how he's so magical with those things.
well, he's been doing it for a long time.
All right, what are you going to show us, Justin? Enough showing off.
Yeah, this
Damn
is
it,
your
I'm sick of this.
shoulder pre-workout?
Yeah, so we got a shoulder pre-workout I want to take you guys through just with the Indian clubs here.
Okay, so before we do, Indian clubs, typically made out of wood. They don't have to be. Heavier on one end, lighter on the other end.
Right.
What if somebody doesn't have an Indian club?
If they don't have an Indian club, I
Could they use like
suppose.
a one-sided dumbbell or something like that?
Yeah.
A bowling pin.
Bowling
Use a
pin?
bowling pin.
Do you happen to have some bowling pins laying around your house?
Again, there's less effective ways to do the same thing. You can do it without anything.
Okay.
No, you can't. You can't really replace this. That's what's so special about this is that the way the weight's distributed when you're doing this, you just can't. There's not.
That's right.
Mark,
It's a lot like what we
there's a
talked
great
about.
shoulder move. You did a great shoulder pre-workout that you did.
Yeah.
With the stick and another tool.
Yeah.
This is a whole different tool.
Yeah.
Is it right?
Mark
Yeah.
my words, you will be seeing these in gyms over the next 5 to 10 years. So
A lot.
Anyway, this has
lot.
been a great tool for me to rehab my shoulder, also just benefit my overhead press and all kinds of other lifts. So
all right, so you do this before your workout.
I do.
To prime everything up, right?
To prime everything. So one of the very first moves that I'll do is just very basic, is just getting more full body extension and getting hip hinging involved. So this is shoulders, but it's also just priming my entire body to get ready for work here. So I start with them flipped up. It basically looks a lot like the skier. So as you're coming back, I'm not flipping it back so they're way behind me here, although you could do that. I tend to just keep them upright with it, so when I'm coming back, I have more control, and then I'm up on my toes for that second into extension, and then I get into a nice flow.
Wow, it reminds me of kind of a kettlebell swing only with the clubs, and now you're incorporating a way more shoulder mobility.
Ooh, I like that.
Besides, so you got
Let's try that, Adam.
hip mobility, and then you have.
Let's try that, Adam. Ready?
There's a slight bend at the top
Whoa, I almost
with the
fell.
arms. Yeah, it takes a little coordination.
I'm gonna let the professional teach it real quick here.
Interesting.
Okay, so I'll start with that just to kind of get the blood circulating and my whole body primed up.
That's a full body primer right
It
there.
is a full body primer.
Yeah, I mean your core's getting activated there, all the way down to your calves, your hips,
Everything.
shoulders, everything's getting opened up.
So then I'll take it into my double swing, which is a double rotation here, where I'll bring it in close to my body here in my chest. And I'm gonna separate my hands by pulling my elbows out. As I pull my elbows out, I'm really trying to get that pull back here and get my shoulders to retract, and I'm gonna go ahead and cast it from here. So I'm gonna cast it up, keeping a nice fist with my wrist the whole time, so I'm not giving any kind of flexing. Nice tight fist. We go down, rotate it in, cross them, pull it back up and back. So as I go to get into a rhythm of this, I'm back up, and all of the momentum is caused by this right here. So this move where I'm throwing it up, which I say casting, I'm throwing this. The rest is the momentum and me going with that momentum.
So someone learning this, because this takes a little bit of coordination, and I'm only speaking from personal experience, because it takes some coordination, when you first start, you just go slow, yeah?
Absolutely.
Slow.
Because these are hard. I want you guys to tell.
Justin showed me that this single, right?
Single's where I start.
The single's where I can
More
get
control.
single down. It feels more natural for me to get a single.
I actually felt better doing both.
Well, both would be awesome, and this would be a progression. But single, I can form, and technique is a little bit easier.
So, yeah, aside from all the technicalities of how complex this may look, and I'm just trying to show you now how I end up transitioning from there to reversing that. So I showed you here with a double swing. I get to this point, and now I go in reverse. Back,
No way, dude.
and now my body is getting a different flow
There's
pattern.
one thing you forgot to mention that I think is very, very important. Make sure you're not around anybody close to you. Because
As I whack my friend in the head.
Because you'll kill them.
You would kill them.
Excellent. So you do those 3 movements. How long do you do each one for?
I do them in maybe like 30 sequence to a minute.
So 30 seconds to a
I'll
minute.
spend-
Then you go to the next one right away.
Exactly.
Do you rest? Okay.
Yeah, I go to it it's a buildup. So, you kind of build up to that point where it's not going to be a conditioning issue. You're not going to get super winded and your form's not going to diminish. You want to really be able to establish the movement of each one of those exercises on their own first. Put them together. It's a nice little sequence there where get your shoulders nice and warm, get your whole body tuned up and ready for a workout.